I promised you the biggest alpha show that I've ever done, and with the bubbles looking like this, you should expect nothing less. Every single one of your altcoin requests are going to be covered in this video. Stay tuned right to the end. It's going to be jam-packed. Let's dive in. And we are going to do things a little bit differently in this video. We're going to take a step back. We're going to analyze where we think we are in the market, where we think we are in the cycle, and whether there's going to be a major pullback, which means buying opportunities at lower levels, or whether we're just going to go full bull crazy for the next 18 months. So before we take a step back and look into the altcoin requests, we've got your Cotis, don't worry, we've got your Pepes, we've got your Illuvium, we've got your Kadenas and your ICPs. That's going to be later on, so stay tuned right for that. But firstly, we want to know, how well is the big daddy doing? Bitcoin's got over 50% of the market cap, so we need to look and analyze the Bitcoin chart first before we can identify what's going to happen in the rest of the market. And I'm going to go through a few things, not just the Bitcoin price, which is trading at 68,000. It popped its head up at all-time highs yesterday at 70,000, and we had a little bit of a retracement, a tiny retracement, which is showing in the short term, the bears haven't got much control. The bulls have got the control here. What I want to do is, we've got our major trend line built in here. We're going to add another trend line, and this is going to be our protection zone. See, we've got 1, 2. If price pulls back down now, we've got our support zone sitting between 48,000 and 52,000, and we've got our trend line. If price comes back and retraces, breaks the trend line, then this is where we're expecting price to come back to, 42,500. So we're expecting a retracement on Bitcoin. We're going to see how it reacts once it hits the trend, and then we're going to analyze the rest of our positions accordingly. So that's the Bitcoin chart. Second thing I want to show you is the fear and greed index. Now, when the markets are in extreme greed, that's when people start selling off. That's when people are all in profits in extreme greed. People think the market's going to continue running and continue running and continue running until it comes crashing down like a house of cards. If you're prepared for that, you could take opportunities for buying at lower levels. That means don't have all your eggs in one basket. Don't put everything into crypto, and make sure you've got spare cash on the table to be able to take advantage whenever the market gives you that opportunity. So the fear and greed index, we're currently in 84 now. So that's showing the market's in extreme greed. Everyone's in profits. The best time historically to buy is when the market is in extreme fear. Accumulating in extreme fear when the prices are so low that nobody's got confidence in the market is the best time, and that's the cheapest prices. So going from that, the next thing that we're going to look at is the net unrealized profit and loss. So we've got two lines here. We've got this top line, which is the net unrealized profit and loss of Bitcoin, and then the bottom line, which is the Bitcoin price. Now, it's built into different sections here. Capitulation, that's when everyone's fearful. The market's fearful. Everybody sells in capitulation, and the people that buy in capitulation are the people that do well in this market. You've got hope, you've got fear, you've got optimism, you've got anxiety, belief, denial, euphoria, and greed. This goes with the Wall Street cheat sheet, guys. We show you that time and time again. It's all about emotions in the market. So every time that the price comes up to euphoria in extreme greed, that's when you expect a retracement. So we're likely to get a retracement before we get the next major bull run. So be careful of that, be cautious of that, and prepare for that. Right, back to the charts. And we're back to the Bitcoin chart. I know Bitcoin might seem boring to some of you guys, but it's the first place that each analyst within the crypto market needs to look. We need to assess the biggest market dominance leader, how that's performing before we go into the rest of the higher risk assets. Remember, Bitcoin's the least risk asset within the crypto space. So people flood into Bitcoin when they want exposure to crypto, but they don't want that high risk. And people come out of Bitcoin when they want to go in higher risk during the right time in the cycle. You can see the rotation happens, and it happens time and time again between Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, USDT. It's all a big rotation. You'll see it rotate by narrative too. So I'm going to stick a Fibonacci level from the previous swing low on Bitcoin to its swing high, and we're going to look for the 618, see if we've got any confluence at the 618. So we've got the 618, which is sitting at 50,471 on Bitcoin. That's another area we can look at how price reacts as we get down to there. So if price starts pulling back, as we expect, you've got this 618 here, you've got the trend line, and we've got our confirmation support zone there. Confirmation, like I said previously, 48,300 to the bottom and 52,300 to the top side. So that's what we're looking for in Bitcoin. Next, we're going to look at the Bitcoin dominance. Why is this important? Because this is the dominance of the whole of the crypto market against the big daddy Bitcoin. And you can see Bitcoin sitting at 53.36% of the whole of the crypto market. We were looking at this, and this is a top-in pattern. And we want this to be a top-in pattern because what we want is dominance to go down. And as dominance comes down, that means that people's getting more confidence in on-risk crypto assets, and they're coming out of Bitcoin. They're having more confidence to go into the altcoin market, and then that's going to eat away at the dominance. As other people start going into the altcoins, the dominance of Bitcoin will start coming down, and they'll start eating away at the crypto market cap, and that's exactly what we want. So the next thing we're going to look at is the USDT dominance. We've tracked this. Amazing. Look at this. We wanted it to lose this level. We wanted it to lose this level, to come back. We wanted it to lose this level. This is where we want a chart to be bearish. We want the USDT dominance to be bearish because what that means is people are selling their USDT. What are they using and what are they holding USDT for? They're trying to de-risk themselves. And once they start spending their USDT, what they're buying with it, they're buying other altcoins. And once they start buying other altcoins, the USDT dominance starts going down as the rest of the crypto market start eating away at the USDT dominance. So similar to the Bitcoin dominance, but this is with the stablecoin US dollar tether. The next thing, total 3, we've been tracking this. Let's stick a trend line on here. We've been tracking this for such a long time, and we broke through this previous resistance, and it was an RS flip, resistance, flip support, and then a nice push to the upside. We've hit our second resistance level, and you can see we've had a reaction from that. You can expect price to come back and retrace back to the trend line. We can also use our friends, the 20 moving average and the 50 moving average. They should act as some form of support. You can see here, look, 20 moving average has acted as support all the way down here. So you can expect that to act as support. Once it loses support and the 50 loses support, then you can readjust and you can expect that you're going to get a little bit of a retracement. So you can assess your portfolio accordingly. Right, okay, the DXY. This is the dollar against a bag of fiat currencies. Why is it important that we look at the dollar against a bag of fiat currencies? Because the strength of the dollar is an important thing in any macro thesis. So if we've got a weak dollar, people flood into the dollar in times of fear. So it's the same as Bitcoin. When you want exposure to Bitcoin, but you don't want the risk, or when you want exposure to crypto and you don't want the risk, you flood into Bitcoin. It's the same with the dollar in macro terms. When people are de-risking, they go into the dollar. They think it's the safest asset. Don't know why they think it's the safest asset, but they do for some reason. So when we see a pullback in the DXY, that's showing confidence in other markets. So we want a pullback in the DXY. This is looking like we're getting a pullback in the DXY. Let's see how that pans out. Right, okay, back to the altcoins now. This is what you're all waiting for. Starting with Polkadot. Firstly, Polkadot, look at that. Stick a trend line on there straight away. We know exactly when we're wrong. And this is what we need to do when we're looking at financial markets, when we're looking at trading crypto, whatever it is. We need to look when we're right. We need to look when we're wrong. We need to prepare for both scenarios. So we've got our trend line here. If price pulls back, loses trend, you know that you're going to get a downturn, cheaper prices. If you've all made loads of money in crypto, take your initial investment out. It doesn't hurt taking profits. It does hurt losing everything you've gained. That's what we were talking about with the net unrealized profit and loss. It's all well and good saying that your account's in profit, it's in profit. But if you're holding that asset and it comes crashing down, all that profit can be lost straight away. So, right, DOT, what we're going to do is we're going to stick a Fibonacci extension tool on there to find out what extension levels we've got from the swing low to its swing high, back down, and then we're looking for a minimum of a 1-to-1 equal measured move. Wave 3, we like to be a 1272 extension. So you've got the equal measured move sitting at $12, and you've got the 1272 sitting at $13.66. I wouldn't be buying DOT into this. We're looking halfway through a move here. This is where you want to be buying DOT at the break. We talk about breaks all the time. So you've got your trend line, you're waiting for the break, and that's what happens. Now what you need to do is rinse and repeat that. If we go to the 1, equal measured move, pulls back, and then as you start creating a trend line, add in your trend, wait for the break, and then next move to the upside. Right, okay, Kadena. we were looking at Kadena. We've got some amazing entries on this channel on Kadena. We've been tracking this. And as some of you have noticed in the comments, and as some of you have mentioned in the comments, we had this big, massive head and shoulders, which we measured. And we've still got our projections sitting at $2.33 to the bottom end and $2.43 to the top end. Kadena's not a buy for me now. This was a buy back down here. This is when we were talking about it within the community. And I wanted to see how we react at this level, pull back, add our trend line in, wait for the break. ICP next. We've been waiting to track. We've been tracking. We've been waiting to break this level here for some time on ICP. Once we break and close above the 1626, let's have a look what projection levels we've got on here. See, we've got the traffic light system flagged nicely on ICP. We've got the green 200 daily at the bottom. We've got the 50 in the middle, and we've got the 20 at the top. The price action is respecting the 20 moving average as support time and time again. We just need that break. So if we stick our fib level on there, from the bottom here, pull that back down, and where are we projecting? We've got equal measure move sitting at $17.82. And we've got the 1272 extension sitting at $20.26. So where are we wrong on ICP? This is where we're wrong. We can just stick a simple trend line in here, guys. We've had 3 touches on this trend. 1, 2, 3. We've had a little wick down here, so you can expect price could wick down. And if you are protecting yourself and putting stop losses anywhere, you need to respect that these wicks are actual lows, extreme lows of the day. So you've got $10.76. If price comes back down and closes below $10.76, then you're looking at lower levels. It doesn't always have to be bad news, lower levels. If you're buying and holding for dear life, then lower levels can be a disaster. But if you're preparing yourself using the appropriate risk management, lower levels can be a great, great thing. Right, this is one of the community requests. I don't know nothing about Ribbon, but it's absolutely smashed it. It's not a buy for me at the moment. $1.63. Wait for a pullback. Where are we likely to get a pullback to? When you've got a trend like this, this is a problem when they've run and absolutely smashed it to the upside. You don't know where price action is going to come back to. You've got resistance sitting here, which we've acted as resistance, actually. You've got your resistance level sitting at $1.70. And you can see how we've reacted at that level there. When price comes back and rejects, when you're in a bearish trend, you've got a lower low, you come back down, you've got a lower high. This was the last lower high, and this is the only area you can expect resistance. So price is chopped down here, it's chopped down here, chopped down here. Where do you expect price to act as resistance? The last time that it acted as resistance was here back in March 2022. You'd expect that to act as resistance again, and that's what's happening. So with Ribbon, wait for price to pull back, see where we create a base. If price pulls back like this, you start creating a base. You've got your low below here, protect yourself, and then move to the upside. So what is Ribbon? Let's have a quick look. It's something that I know nothing about, but it was a community request. Ribbon Finance. Let's have a look. What's its market cap? It's got a low market cap, less than $1 billion, 883 million market cap. And we've got circulative supply of 537 million out of 1 billion Ribbon Finance tokens. So that's what I'm waiting for on Ribbon. Trias, another community request. And you can see we've broken the high here. That's positive. So we'll be looking for projections on this one. It's early, it's high risk, something that I don't know anything about. So let's stick some fib projections on there from this low up to its high, back down to its low. This is going to be a high 1-to-1 equal measure move on this one. You're sitting at $24.33. Now, how I would protect myself on this, you're creating a trend line on here. If price comes back below this trend line, you'd expect price to pull back down to the $9.47 level at bare minimum. So if you break and close above this high here, $19.38, expect to get to the $24 on Trias. Okay, AGIX. These ones have all run, guys. Wait for the pullback, stick your fib on there. Where are we going to pull back to? In a strong bullish trend, we know that 382 is going to be a healthy retracement. All we're doing is see how price reacts at these levels. If price reacts at the 382, you know you've got your stops below there. You've protected yourself with a tight stop loss. However, if we go all the way down to the 618, you know, it's going to be there. Price is going to chop at these levels. It's going to chop at these levels. And when it's chopping, it means there's indecision. There's lots of buy orders, there's lots of sell orders going on, and there's a fight. There's a tug of war between the bulls and the bears. So again, all you're doing is you're tracking the trend, see how deep it is, add in your simple trend line, waiting for the break, and then you're off. So this is how you protect yourself. If it went all the way down to the 786, wait for the break, protect yourself under the low there. So what happens is the further down it gets, the lower the prices that you're going to get. So 382, 618, 786. Right, next one, Limewire. Another community request. I can't even comment on this. I don't know anything about it, but as far as TA is concerned, you can't go by this. Let me know in the comments what this actually is, and I'll try and do a bit more of a deep dive into Limewire. Coti smashed it, absolutely smashed it. Right. We've got, let's do this, wave 1, pullback, wave 2, wave 3, pullback, wave 4, and then we're looking for a wave 5 extension. How far is this pullback? Let's stick a fib on there. Come back down, react to the 618, big buy up candle. We've had the break, stick your trend line on there. You've had the break. So we're looking for extensions. Looking for extensions, wrong one. To the swing high, back down to the previous swing low. 1-to-1 extension on this is sitting just under 34 cents, and the 1272 extension, 39 cents. So protecting yourself again, guys, simple trend line. It doesn't have to be difficult. Get your trend line, pop it on there. When are you wrong? When price comes back and breaks the trend to the downside. So that's what I'm looking for on Coti. Pepe absolutely smashed it. Pat yourself on the backs, guys. We got all of this move on this channel. Let's measure it. Absolutely smashed our entry on Pepe. How big's this move? 1,095%. Pepe, we need to wait for a pullback on Pepe. It's in price discovery. And the problem is when you're waiting for a pullback on this now, strong trend 382 retracement. 382 retracement is sitting all the way down at 0.00000653. We're at 863 at the moment. So wait to see how price reacts at this 382. It could be even deeper. It could be a 618. And remember, it's just a case of monitoring, waiting for the pullback, waiting for the pullback, waiting for the pullback. We can add our trend line. Add our trend line. See how far it retraces, and then wait for the break, and then you're away. Protecting yourself, obviously, under the previous lows. And then we've got render, price discovery render. So this one's a little bit better. So we can look at our retracement from the previous low. And we're looking for 618s and we're looking for 382s. Stick it on there, actually. Pop that on there. And we're waiting for this. We're waiting for this. 382 or the 618 retracement. The 618 retracement sitting at just over $8. 382 retracement, $9.50. So how's price going to react? It's absolutely smashed it, render. You guys have given me loads of requests where they've completely just run. So it's monitoring the pullback, waiting patiently. Don't forget, if you put your initial investment in, you've done a 3x, a 4x, a 5x, and you're not prepared, you haven't applied the appropriate risk management, take your eggs out of the basket, take your initial profit out. None of this is financial advice, but if you've got nothing left when the market pulls back to be able to accumulate at lower levels, then your chance of success for the next bull run is limited. Right, okay, Dogecoin. We're going to be forming, let me just go into a lower time frame, going to the 8 hour on this. You can see we're forming a bit of a flag here. Move to the upside, creating this flag here. What this allows for is it allows us to understand whether we're going to break to the upside, break to the downside, and which type of move that we're going to get going forward. So this flag is nearly exhausted now. So within the next day, the next 2 days, we're going to get this break, and it's either going to break to the upside, come back, confirm, and then bam, higher levels, or break to the downside, reject, lower levels. If you were sitting and looking for lower levels on Doge, a retracement, if you got a limit order in there, could go down and hit at 12 cents, 12.5 cents. If we're looking for projections, stick extension on there from the low to the high. If you're looking at extensions on this move, Your 1-to-1, 21 cents, just under 22 cents. Your 1272 sitting at 24 cents. I've got a weekly resistance level here sitting at 23 cents that we need to look out for as well. So that's how we can monitor the bull flags and the bull pennants. We've got Illuvium next. Absolutely smashed it again. Bloody hell. Come back down. We've had the break on this. Let me see. Where can we move on Illuvium? This looks good. That deep retracement there. Stick it on that fib level. Right. Equal measured move. I mean, technically, sticking it on the proper fib level, you've hit your equal measured move on here. This is a big swing 3, pullback swing 4. Now we're looking at a swing 5. You've got 1272 sitting at $149. You've got the 1618, the big 1618 extension sitting at $165. So it's a difficult one, this, because where do you protect yourself? You've got a swing low all the way down here. So from where price action's currently sitting, if you've got your stop loss down there, you're losing 30% of your capital. It's a difficult one, that, for me. Wait to see how it reacts after a pullback. If it pulls back from this flag, this is confirmation, move to the upside. Once you get your confirmation buy down here sitting at 120 to the bottom, 125 to the top end, that means that your stop loss can be applied at a much lower level, because if we react at this level here, you can apply your stops down there, and that, from where price action would be sitting, would be only a loss of 4% if you're wrong. So that's how you can apply the appropriate risk management. Be greedy with your entries. Make sure you are greedy with your entries. Got Rune next. Stick this back on the higher time frame. That looks nice. Thorchain smashed it. Right. Extension levels. Got your 1-to-1 on Rune, $9.62, and you got your 1272 sitting at $11.23. You can see we've got quite a bit of resistance sitting at these levels as well, at the 1272 area, where price has been rejected once, rejected twice, rejected 3 times to the downside. So expect a few sell orders at this level here. That is sitting at $10.88 at the bottom side and $11.85 at the top end. And finally, Ali. Come on, let's see. How far is this retraced? 618. Look at these, they're powerful, these Fibonacci levels. Reacted at the 618 once, twice, 3 times. So that's good. We've reacted at the 618, and we can stick our extension on there. How big is this move if we break to the upside? All the way up to 85, 0.085, and 1272 extension is sitting at 10 cents. Big round number there. If you want more content like this rather than individual videos, let me know in the comments what you want me to cover next. I went through each and every single one of your altcoin requests in this video, so keep chucking them at me. I'll build this playlist, subscribe to the channel, and we'll keep smashing our entries. Take care, goodbye from me, and I'll see you in the next one.